Good afternoon and welcome to Beijing, China. Hello, everybody. This is the penultimate day of the FIBA Basketball World Cup. And you can see the brackets, how they've been filled out. Tomorrow we'll have Argentina and Spain battling for the Naismith Trophy. And France and Australia battling for third place. But right now, we're going to watch the battle for seventh place. And I dare say it's not a battle that anyone would have anticipated. Not in a country mile game between Poland, playing at their first FIBA Basketball World Cup in 52 years, making it all the way into the quarterfinals, and now fighting the United States of America, who had their title defense ended the other night in their quarterfinal defeat to France. So I'm Jeff Taylor, joined by Josh Davis, and I've said it before, Josh, I'll say it again. It's always better to leave the tournament on the back of a win than a defeat, and both of these teams will have that in mind as they get ready to go up against each other.
No question, Jeff, and obviously for Poland, this is another great opportunity. They've kind of established themselves as a team to be reckoned with in this tournament, starting off 4-0. The USA obviously has been reckoned with for quite a while, and they need to get back to USA basketball, which is playing with confidence, playing with athleticism and speed, and it's Poland's job to try to slow them down.
Well, Poland, you know what? This is the icing on the cake for Coach Mike Taylor, who is an American, but coaches in Germany, coaches Hamburg, the team that he led the promotion last year, also coaches, obviously, Poland, has since 2014. And it's the icing on the cake for the players who get a chance to go up against one of the giants, the #1 team in the FIBA World Ranking presented by Nike, the United States. So, the United States coming out. It hasn't been the finish that they envisioned. It's been a tough tournament. Of course, they almost fell to Turkey. Some of the faces that I think USA Basketball expected to be here did not come, but all of these guys came out to represent their country, and I think they've acquitted themselves very well. If anything, I think that this FIBA Basketball World Cup, no matter who would have played, would have been a tough competition, and these guys have had their moments. I'm not sure criticism aimed at the players or Coach Popovich is merited. Obviously, the USA expects to win with whatever team that they bring out, but the reality is it is a tough old tournament these days, 32 teams. So we got USA, Poland, and then we will have Serbia and the Czech Republic in the battle for 5th place.
Well, on that point, Jeff, the wise Kobe Bryant said that we're at a point now in basketball where the USA is going to win some and they're going to lose some in terms of World Cups. You know, it's like Brazil and soccer, over the last half century, it's just not going to be a sure thing. They have to play well, and he even mentioned the fact that at the 08 Olympics against Spain, they needed a great fourth quarter to win that game with a great team. So, the gap is no longer.
The first national anthem is Poland.
Okay, we're going to have a pause in the commentary for the playing of the national anthems of Poland and the United States.
And now, the national anthem of the United States of America.
奏美国国歌。
Okay, the national anthems have been played. Greg Popovich on the right shakes hands with his fellow American Mike Taylor on the left. And it's going to be a thrill, I think, for Coach Taylor to go up against this USA team.
Yeah, I was saying if he's able to win this one, he might get a couple of calls after the weekend.
I'm sure he'll be fielding calls with a lot of people. He's out there talking to all the coaches. There you go. Alexander Glizic, Yu Young, and Takaki Kato from Serbia, Chinese Taipei, and Japan are the referees for today's game. And we'll get a look at the lineups and also the rosters for both of these teams.
Well, Poland, again, started off 4-0. The fact that they're here for the first time in 52 years is a great sign for Polish basketball. You see Aaron Sell, a bit of a stretch forward. A.J. Slaughter has been their most consistent guard, and he's looking forward to this one. Mateusz Panitka, who had a great game against China. You'll remember that one. Adam Wojcinski has become the leading scorer, the captain. And then Adam Prasaniuk, the big man, the beast, as Coach Taylor calls him, also has been a solid presence inside. Of course, Mikhail Sokolowski off the bench. But it's been Mateusz Panitka. You see his stats for the tournament: 13 points, almost 7 rebounds, a couple of assists, also get a couple of steals. Gets to the free throw line a lot. So he likes to attack the basket. Curious to see how the U.S. chooses to defend him, whether they just, straight up man-to-man, or they look to trap. They want to make him uncomfortable. But on the U.S. side, only 9 players suiting up, so there's going to be a lot of minutes going around. You can imagine.
No Jason Tatum, no Kemba Walker,
yep.
No Smart.
So that's why Derek White gets the starting nod here today, alongside Donovan Mitchell. Joe Harris, probably one of the pleasant surprises of the tournament. Harrison Barnes had a great game against Serbia in a losing effort with 22 points. And Miles Turner, who still does present the interior defensive presence for the USA. And obviously no Smart, no Brown, and no Walker in the game today. Well, we're going to show Donovan Mitchell. He had a phenomenal game against France the other night, 29 points. Still averaging about 13, 4 and 4. Has had some electrifying highlights, but also knocked down the outside jump shot. Donovan Mitchell comes in 44% from the field, and before tip gave some of his shoes to some kids in the crowd. And of course, the legendary coach, Greg Popovich, on the sidelines for the USA. Probably not the outcome that he wanted in his first tournament, coaching the senior national team. But Mike Taylor, no relation to my colleague here, Jeff Taylor.
We're brothers, but not in that way. But we are.
But Mike Taylor, one of the more positive, optimistic coaches you'll see on the FIBA scene. Great in press conferences, willing to talk to anyone about basketball at any moment.
Yeah, he just has an incredible enthusiasm, not only for basketball, but for life. Just like his counterpart today, Greg Popovich. Donovan Mitchell, nice moment before the game real quickly, gave his shoes that he was wearing in the warm-ups to some fans that made their day, that's for sure. Well, we are underway here in the Wukesong Arena in Beijing, China. USA in white, Poland in red. USA attacking the basket to the left after winning the opening tip. And again, this is the battle for 7th place. Turner puts up his first attempt. Both these teams stormed into the quarterfinals, having not lost a game. And well, they did their best. In fact, they stormed into the second round without having lost a game. And already Panitka getting it up and in. So a good start for him.
Yeah, Panitka not afraid to be aggressive. He's cooled off just a little bit after a great first round of games as Mitchell attacks.
Harris, nowhere to go, and Panitka looks up the floor. A.J. Slaughter feels his way in. And Harrison Barnes swoops in for the rebound, gets it to White. And nice corner shot from Harris.
Well, that's what he's been doing all tournament. Comes in 52% from 3. Spots up in transition and knocks it down.
And Panitka able to get it back.
If you haven't seen this Polish team play, it's the way they move without the ball that's been phenomenal. A lot of backdoor cuts. Always on the same page offensively.
Adam Wyszynski missing that. Now Harrison Barnes again, driving in, gets his rebound. Mitchell strokes the 3.
Well, obviously, the USA is able to knock down the 3 consistently. They're a completely different club. Come in only 33% from beyond the arc overall. And it's just not going to cut it considering they shoot over 30 a game.
Harris comes out and gets a reaching foul. Yeah, Poland won their first 4 games. We saw them win all their games here in Beijing. Venezuela, China, Cote d'Ivoire, and then they beat Russia. But then, like everybody else, when they came up against Argentina, they were not able to match, I guess, the intensity or survive the intensity of that Argentinian defense, especially. Here is Wyszynski going in and being fouled by Turner. And then they followed that up with a game against Spain and lost 90-78. So their first 2 losses came against teams that are in the final. So that kind of illustrates how good Poland, you know, they've played well. I mean, it's taken good teams to beat them. And of course, in their first classification game, they lost to the Czech Republic, a national team that Mike Taylor here used to serve as an assistant coach. Coached them back in 2013 at the Eurobasket in Slovenia.
Yeah, and the Czech Republic's been kind of the other surprise team, revelation of the tournament. They've had a great run, obviously led by Sedoransky. So Poland, I would say, is kind of the other team that came out of nowhere in sorts. Expectations were exceeded at this World Cup. Pressure here.
Wyszynski, who plays professionally in Spain with Malaga, cuts it back to a 6-4 deficit.
See a 2-3 zone from the Polish defense.
Good pass, Mitchell to Barnes. Harrison Barnes.
Well, USA can afford to play somewhat loosely here. Obviously, they've already qualified for the Olympics. So now it's all about national pride and making sure you go out with the win. Starting off 3 of 3 from the arc.
And Slaughter steps back, hits the long jump shot.
What a feeling must be for him, the Louisville, Kentucky native out of the United States, playing against his other national team. Although we should mention Slaughter has been with his Polish national team for over 5 years.
Yeah, an integral part of the Polish national team, A.J. Slaughter. National team is allowed to naturalize 1 player. Rick White down 5 seconds on the shot clock. Bounce pass to Harris. Oh, beautiful finish.
The up and under from Joe Harris, who every game continues to show that he's more than just a shooter.
And Slaughter left his feet, trying to get it to Sandiak. Ball goes out of bounds.
Right.
Harris gets in the lane, tries to make a behind the back pass, but Poland ready. Here comes Slaughter. Wyszynski pump fake, now puts up a runner and scores for Poland.
Wyszynski gets Turner off his seat with a strong pump fake. You got to respect his outside shot, obviously.
Mitchell answers with a 3. Speaking of Louisville, that's where he played his college basketball.
Already 4 assists for Derek White. So doing a good job filling up for Walker. Back door.
And goal interference is the call, so the basket will count.
And that's the key to kind of exploit the aggressive USA defense. Cut back door, find the space. You see there Turner called for the interference. Poland would have scored anyway. Right there, caught his hand on the rim. Much better start offensively, though, for USA. Obviously managed just 7 points in the first quarter the other night against Serbia.
These games can be difficult to play once you are out of the medal contention, but you have to say it's been a successful tournament, as you mentioned, because USA have already, long ago clinched a spot in the Olympics, which is no mean feat. His team did it early as one of the top 2 America's teams. Poland will be at one of the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournaments. There'll be 4 16 tournaments next year. And Harrison Barnes turns and scores. And, the approach that these guys take today, the coaches will be taking note, when they think about who's going to be on that Olympic team. They'll remember who came out and played today. Pass up ahead, batted out of bounds. There's Coach Popovich. And Damian Kulik comes in.
Damian Kulik and Alex Balcerowski as well. 2 big guys who've been so productive off the bench for Poland.
Middleton, nice stroke.
What a good sight for the Americans just to see the ball go through the net in the first quarter. 7 of 10, fiery start.
Balcerowski, I'm sure he's raising eyebrows over on that USA bench. Who's the big guy? Donovan Mitchell, meanwhile, sneaks in there and takes the ball away.
A mismatch inside.
Mitchell, beautiful pass. Lopez. And Damian Kulik rebounds that miss.
And Lopez, who had a great season shooting the 3 for the Milwaukee Bucks, just 13% in the World Cup as Panicka scores again. Another runner.
And almost a turnover, but Mitchell has it. And now Harris picks up his second foul, going for the rebound. He's a worker, Harris.
Trying to sneak in there for the offensive rebound. And Panicka, who's a great rebounder at his size and in guard position, averages 6.7 boards a game as a shooting guard.
Lukas Kaszary, part of the core Poland national team, been with them for a long time. Waczynski saves it in bounds to Balcerowski. And dunks it from the baseline.
The 18-year-old, the youngest player in the World Cup, showing you what he's about right there, elevating over Brown.
He got the USA excited over there. Did you see that? Tatum and Turner. They're like, who's that guy? Also, Jay Wright from Villanova, thinking he's only 18. Middleton.
And we need to expand our recruiting base a little bit.
Balcerowski, the youngest player at this FIBA Basketball World Cup. It's quite remarkable. Sokolovsky and Waczynski almost saving it in bounds. So Plumlee's going to come in and spell Barnes as you look at the replay of Balcerowski's dunk.
And Balcerowski, who's really impressed with the outside touch, showing you he can finish strong at the hoop as well.
Did you see how high his head was? It's close to the rim. White. And scores and gets a chance for a three-point play. Sokolovsky had that great start to the tournament. He picks up the foul. Had the great start against Venezuela. Kind of set the tone, really, for Poland to win Group A.
Here, Derek White, the only USA player who featured in any of the World Cup qualifiers. And he's rewarded with a spot on the World Cup team. Obviously plays for Coach Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs. And now USA in a zone defensively, switching things up.
Kulik prevents the turnover. Kulik, a little up and under. And then Plumlee is going to inbound it.
Kulik, of course, who will be a hero in Poland for a long time after hitting the game-winning shot in overtime against China in what was the classic game of the Group A round here in Beijing.
Yeah, he drove. Took him a while to get to the rim. Here's Lopez. Grushetzky has it.
A big lineup out there with the USA. Lopez and Plumlee.
Kulik. His attempt rims out. White is all right.
Actually a two-pointer from Derek White.
Grushetzky.
The U.S. on an 8-0 run right now. And they've gone to their bench. Both teams actually going to their benches.
Jason Tatum, what might this World Cup run have been like had he been able to play and not, you know, hit the sidelines after the Turkey game? He got injured at the end of that game.
Literally the last second.
Plumlee, not sure what that pass was intended for. And not sure what that pass was intended for by Grushetzky.
A little sloppiness on both ends.
Middleton goes in for the layup.
Yeah, Middleton's the kind of guy who can really fit in the international game. 6'8", 2 meters 3, can shoot, pass, dribble.
Sokolowski, his attempt rims out or rattles out. Jaylen Brown. Wachorowski gets the rebound. Shark saves it from going out of bounds. Pulls up at the stripe, and his shot rattles out.
Tough couple breaks here for Poland. And USA will hold it up. It's about a 5-6 second differential.
White gets in the paint, and Plumlee follows. Still enough time for Sokolowski and Poland to get a shot. Karol Grushetzky has to put it up. He does just in time. So at the end of one, USA in command, 28-14 against Poland.
Well, check out the stats. USA, of course, shooting the ball extremely well in that first quarter, knocking down 5 3-pointers, 11-19 overall. Poland unsuccessful on their 6 attempts, and then also the 10 assists on the 11 field goals for USA. We talked about them needing to get back to their, productive ways, and that's one way they've done it, sharing the ball. As you see the American fans in the stands. And the highlights of that first quarter, Joe Harris getting things started for the red, white, and blue.
So much has been said over the years, really the last, for more than a decade, about how the USA players go back and are better players after playing for their national team. And I guess even though the results haven't been there for this team that they had hoped for, you would imagine they're going to go back and benefit from this experience.
Yeah, we talked about it with a few of the players who are, in the NBA but representing their countries this summer, and it's, the fact that, okay, they had a shorter summer, perhaps, but they also got in shape quicker, game shape, which is very different from the off-season summer kind of workout shape. Guys like Joe Harris showing that they can start and be productive on a national team. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell doing what he's done for the last couple of years. Even a guy like Middleton, who had probably his best season, first-time All-Star, having a good summer.
Speaking of World Cup, have you loaded in the app yet? Well, you're running out of time. You might want to put in the FIBA Basketball World Cup app like everybody else seems to have done. It's been a great source of information, news, interviews, and videos.
And the great thing is that it doesn't expire. You can continue to have it on your phone long after the World Cup, and just I want to go watch that highlight again.
I like it.
I still catch the Eurobasket highlights every now and then.
I like it as well. Lots of basketball. Kalczarowski, we've seen him dunk it, and that shot rims out. And now the pass almost went out of bounds. Brook Lopez was able to save it, and then Plumlee gets in there and not quite able to finish. Slaughter pulls up. Poland just not able to knock down their shots right now.
Yeah, they're getting decent looks. We've already seen 3 or 4 go in and then right back out. Down screens, nice pick and pop.
Lopez from the right corner, that's a 3, and the lead now 31-14. And Mike Taylor calls timeout.
Lopez just shaking his head, just finally, I'm able to knock one down, reminding everyone that he can indeed shoot. And obviously he came into the NBA as a purely low post scorer, expanded his game as the NBA game changes. And now Mike Taylor has to talk to his troops.
Well, I'm going to say it one more time. You guys talk on D and you compete. You talk on D and you compete. It's simple blocking. You got to be on time. If you're late and the big steps up, it's a favor. Don't lay down out here. Now let's go. On time, pick your own decision. We get this place on. Attack these guys. On time. We got to play together. Right now, drag, get, attack. Don't play today. We got to attack. Right now, drag, get, and then let's come out. 3 down. Drag, get, 3 down. Post them up. Attack these guys and play strong. Come on, let's go.
Well, clearly the coach thinking his team is showing him too much respect. There's Manu Ginobili the day after watching Argentina dismantle France. Come back to watch these 2 games. This game and then the one that follows, Serbia, Czech Republic.
So USA clearly coming out with a point to prove here tonight. Now going down without a fight as they leave Shinsky open in the corner. Shots just not falling for the Polish. Ooh.
The foul's on number 9, Mateo. That's his first personal.
Lopez who followed USA in the build-up, became a fan favorite down under. Just started getting all of this incredible applause whenever the USA played, and his likeness appeared on the screen or he was on the court and touched the ball. Middleton.
That was probably the first bad shot that USA's taken where there was a contested fadeaway.
Nika able to keep his feet. Gets it to Kulik. Now Slaughter hits it. That ends the trounce. It had been a while. Lopez. And another rebound by Panitka. And the passes look a little crisper. And the intensity has gone up a little bit for Poland after the timeout. And good finish, and then the foul. So a 3-point play opportunity for Poland and Kulik.
Well, when the USA switch on defense and Slaughter has a big on him, of course he needs to penetrate. Beautiful dump off pass to Kulik, who just takes his time, goes on the other side of the rim to avoid the block, draws the contact and finishes. Much to the delight of Mike Taylor.
So it makes it 31-18. Jaylen Brown's first foul. Gets it back to a 12-point deficit. Harrison Barnes will come in for Plumlee. From Iowa, Harrison Barnes played at USC. And left after his junior year to hit the pros. After his freshman year, are you sure? Okay.
Ames, Iowa. There's Middleton inside, little fadeaway. Such a nice touch.
He is.
Little mismatch inside. Mitchell switch on to Kulik.
Shot by Panitka. Kulik follows.
Unable to secure the offensive rebound. Felt like Turner went over the back. You see there, had the inside position on Turner. Brown. Ooh, nice block. Whenever Brown turns the corner, you know he's going straight to the rim hard. Kulik was waiting for him. Nice deflection out of bounds.
Brown from downtown. Been waiting to say that.
Yeah, Brown, who such a phenomenal athlete, but has added different elements to his game, including the three-point shot. And Slaughter gets inside again. Can't finish.
Turner hands it off to Middleton.
A smart play by Barnes.
So Kulik goes out, Middleton goes out, Harris comes in. Oh, good minutes from Kulik. Problem is, once you get into a big hole here, it's awfully difficult to climb out of. Ole Nitzak has come in, Dominic Ole Nitzak, playing college basketball at Florida State. Now in for Poland, Brook Lopez taking a breather. So what is your investigative research turned up on Harrison Barnes?
So Barnes could have been a top lottery pick after his freshman year, but stayed for his sophomore year.
Okay, so he left after 2 years.
So we were both wrong.
Okay, we'll take the average. Slaughter short. Jaylen Brown, well, dribbled right into Slaughter, and Slaughter was able to knock it out of his hands.
Ooh, got away with the carry there.
Ole Nitzak, oh, nice.
Well, that's what he was working on before the tournament.
We've only seen good things from him, actually. He hasn't played much, but when he's come into the games, he's produced.
Yeah, only been in 4 of the 7 games. Barnes misses the 3. He's only had about, I think, 6 points total in those 4 games. So
Panitka gets in the lane, puts it up and in.
how many times have we said his name in this building? Panitka never backs down from a challenge, forcing Popovich to call the timeout.
Spider Cam giving us that angle right there of the USA, who called the timeout.
Well, as long as the USA continue to knock down the 3, they're at 7 so far. And as long as Poland continues to miss those 3s, 0 of 10, it's going to be a long night for Poland. And again, it's what we expect from this USA team. You see the assists, Obviously, Poland the advantage, points in the paint, but just different guys scoring, right? There's never really been a main scorer on this team in this tournament. As Panitka, a lot of runners and floaters in his game, and I think he's 5th in the World Cup in fouls drawn. And of course, for a shooting guard who typically spends his time on the perimeter, you can just see how he uses his aggression to his benefit, initiates contact, kind of goes off the wrong foot at times, always catches defenses off balance. And he's really been one of the top players in this World Cup.
He has, and I just wonder how he'll be viewed after this World Cup in terms of his long-term prospects. Yeah, his stock, 6 points, 3 rebounds. I mean, he's the kind of guy, he doesn't look at the USA and says, now's my chance, I'm going to come out and play hard. And he has that attitude every single time he steps onto the court.
Yeah, just 26 years of age, and I know the Chinese fans probably won't ever forgive him for the steal that essentially knocked China out of the 2nd round of the World Cup.
Miles Turner off the iron. And Greg Popovich not happy with the offensive execution.
Well, they have slowed down in the 2nd quarter, just 10-9 advantage.
Aaron Sell, his
Another
shot
one.
goes out. Gosh, they've had so many go in and out. Poland. Wonchansky reaches in and commits the foul. Smart and Kemba Walker finding something funny.
Well, Walker has been the leader for this team, both on and off the court. Nice steal here from Wachinski. Derek White caught sleeping.
Wonchansky gets it to Panitka. He gets it back to Wonchansky.
See the battle inside for position. Mitchell, very active.
What's interesting is you talk about the Utah Jazz players that are here. Mitchell, Joe Ingles, Rudy Gobert, but it's the player that has left the Utah Jazz, Ricky Rubio, who's made it to the final. Here's Sell, hands it off. Olenicek, but it gets rejected by Turner, and then Wonchansky follows Panitka into the corner. Wonchansky in no man's land.
Great contest there by Turner. I'm sure we'll see that again as Wachinski. Tough shot. Good contest from Mitchell.
Turner, much better in the flow.
Yeah, plenty of time to get his feet set. Squared up to the basket. Nice find by Mitchell. Panitka again getting inside, but a strip from Derek White.
Barnes. There's the Turner, and Harris charges into Wonchansky, who's been quite a pest since he's come out into the court.
Yeah, so that's the 3rd foul now on Joe Harris. You see the block here by Turner. Meet me at the rim. And what do you always say?
Not in my house.
Exactly. I mean, that is hand on ball. And then on the other end, turning defense into offense, Miles Turner.
You know, he likes, he gets a lot of work, I bet, with Papa Jones, the assistant with Indiana, who also does a lot with Domas Sabonis. And Sokolowski snatches the ball out of the air, puts it up.
Well, Turner made a point after the loss against Serbia that he was not going to take any slander about the American players' performance here this World Cup. They're playing with their hearts. And here he is.
He goes in and tried to throw it down, but he was fouled. Well, right on cue.
So Miles Turner turning it up a level. See what I did there?
Yes, I liked it.
Good effort. It's a good contest as well defensively, as Dominic
Olenisek, yep, discovering what life is like playing against a big NBA player like this. Popeye Jones, though, I was hugely impressed with him at the Basketball Without Borders camp that I went to last year. The guy has so much enthusiasm and energy, so it's not surprising Sabonis and Turner are developing into great players.
Yeah, and Popeye Jones' son, hockey player, ice hockey. Yeah. That's why I know that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Here, nice bounce pass. And again, Olenisek finding it difficult against Turner. Sokolowski moving his feet on defense, and then Harrison Barnes.
Probably didn't need to go to the reverse. Could have finished on the strong side.
Harrison with the fake and takes it up. Oh.
The basket does not count. Referee is pointing to the ground. So a smart foul by Derek White. You see it right there, and it probably should have counted.
Yeah, I think everybody probably in the arena thought that should have counted.
See this block again by Turner, gets his hand on it, and then that's why he felt he should be a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. And Rudy Gobert felt another way. Again, 2-3 zone here from the USA.
Kashada dances around in the paint. Sokolowski, that's off.
Should also note that Mike Taylor has gone to his bench a lot in this first half, giving the other guys a chance to get some minutes.
And foul called on Wonczynski.
Again, USA only have 9 players to rotate. And with Joe Harris in foul trouble now, pretty much 8 for the rest of the first half, but it's not a bad group of 8 guys.
White sinks the first. Really made a big splash in the NBA playoffs, didn't he?
Yeah, had a great game 1 as he played against the Denver Nuggets in that first round. Obviously did his college basketball at Colorado, so a bit of a homecoming for him, and completely shocked the NBA world in his performance. Also had a great dunk, I remember. And here's a near steal.
Sokolowski pass to Kashada. It's
Good offense.
Wide open in the corner. And that's exactly what Taylor said before the game. You know, it's not so much about winning. I want to see us run our sets and run them well. I want our guys to be able to look back at some highlights of them executing against the United States.
It's a great play by Sokolowski. Drove baseline, found the open man, then he almost forgot about him. Left him wide open in the corner. You see the foul on Sokolowski inside on Middleton. Middleton, one other of the bright spots from that game against Serbia, had 16 points. And will probably finish the tournament averaging double figures.
Second free throw good, and the lead still at 17 points. Sokolowski again from the right this time. Middleton over to White, now Mitchell. Baseline move, Plumlee.
Frustrating start for Mason Plumlee in this first half. Just hasn't been able to get his hands on the ball properly. You see there the nice strip from Kashada.
Chensky. Bounce pass for Sandiak. And there's another nice play by Poland.
Mitchell asking for the high screen. Gets inside.
And Mitchell gets it up right. Just so smooth, isn't he?
He's actually just so under control as well, considering how athletic and explosive he is. Just gets to the spots and can finish with, different ways.
Pass to Hrtsanik, takes his time, and did not get it up in time. Nevertheless,
Yeah, it took too much time.
good half of basketball. Here's Koshadik.
Let's see. Still in his hands. You see the backboard lights up. And it will not count.
So Hrtsanik grimaces or just says, oh, well, I did my best. 47-30, USA on top of Poland at halftime in the battle for 7th place at this FIBA Basketball World Cup. They're just going to go have a look at it just in case.
Quick review.
So 47-30, USA on top of Poland at the break.
USA having one of their better halves in a while. They've been struggling to shoot it, but today 52% overall, knocking down 8 of 13 3-pointers, and you see Poland struggling from beyond the arc, just 1 of 15. Also the assist numbers double in favor of Poland. And the one positive mark for Poland in that first half is they're able to score in the paint on this USA defense. Middleton, the only player in double figures with 11. Wachinski leads the way with Poland alongside Panitko at 6 apiece. And 20 more minutes of basketball for each of these teams as we check out the highlights of that first half.
Well, USA got that quick start. Poland missed a lot of shots, and USA outscored them 28-14, and really that's kind of the difference in the game. It's encouraging to see Poland kind of stem the flow of points from the U.S. and still have a chance to come back in this. Wouldn't write them off completely yet.
Well, they're not going to go 1 of 15 from 3 in the second half, you'd imagine. So if I'm Mike Taylor in the locker room, I'm
emphasizing the positives.
Yeah, telling my guys, listen, we got to keep shooting. Think about how many balls were halfway down and rolled right back out. Again, they were able to execute pretty well. They got some good driving kicks and driving dump-offs. So they're able to get the ball up on the rim. And on the other end, the USA have knocked down, the 3 consistently in that first half, 63% from beyond the arc. Again, if I'm Mike Taylor, I'm saying they're not going to make all those shots in the second half, especially if we play, compete, and contest.
So who has impressed you the most for the USA here in this first half?
Well, Donovan Mitchell continues to impress. Middleton, 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. In fact, he's able to get to the basket in transition, had a drive, obviously spot up for 3 or 2. Miles Turner, his defense pretty good as well. For Poland, although Baljarowski only has 2 points, it was a very electric 2 points with a baseline dunk. So it's that kind of mentality, attacking the USA, that's going to be the key in the second half.
Well, Poland will be going into the FIBA Eurobasket 2021 qualifiers. Not only that, but they'll play in the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament. They'll be among the European teams to do so. So they've got a lot of basketball coming up. And, I guess that's one of the benefits of this new system of competition is that they know right now that when this World Cup ends, they're going to go back to their clubs, but it won't be that long before they can get back and be with their national team. So, they can continue to have that continuity. And it'll also be good for the Poland fans to watch their team play in person that had such a great World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, after this performance this summer, you know, a lot of confidence moving forward. You know, you'd hope that a lot of these guys stay together, you know, stay injury-free and so on throughout the season. But yeah, a very promising future. And, you know, Mike Taylor's talked about how they were building a program. They've been building a program over the last few years. And this is not quite the culmination. It's just the next step.
Well, when they do go into the Eurobasket qualifiers, they'll need to finish in the top 3 of their group, Group A, which consists of Romania, Israel, and Spain. So you certainly have a powerhouse in Spain, who are number 2 in the ranking, the FIBA World Ranking. And I'm not sure if they can go to the top if they were to win this World Cup. But Israel, always a tough team in the qualifiers. They always make it to the Eurobasket. And Romania, who would probably be the outsiders going into those qualifiers. So those actually start in 155 days. Your native Belgium will be in Group C with Czech Republic, Lithuania, and Denmark. I know you're excited about that.
Yeah, Belgium, who have been very successful at the youth level. Now time to see at the senior men's national level.
But Adam Vichinsky, he'll be a big part of this Poland effort in the qualifiers. Their first game will actually be on February 20th at home against Israel. So that'll be a huge occasion, one would think, for this Polish national team playing in front of the home fans. USA, meanwhile, their players will be going back to show up at training camp pretty soon, right? So with their respective teams. And I'm guessing, just like every other national team program, they'll have a review of what happened this summer, and, you know, how do we want to start building our team for the Olympics.
Yeah, Jerry Colangelo actually in the building here tonight to watch this USA team. Saw him earlier behind the scenes. So we'll be back for the second half shortly. USA and Poland, 20 minutes left in this World Cup after we check out Chris Middleton's highlights.
So USA on top, 47-30 over Poland. We are at halftime. Australian players have every reason to come out today strong, and they get a layup from Mills. La Provitola whips it over to Deck. And Deck goes in for the rim rocker.
The lob.
And they get it to Bogut.
Great execution. The back screen set by Patty Mills to free up Bogut. And Ingles delivers another beautiful pass.
Rubio bounce pass to Clover for the two-handed jam.
What a way to pick up another double-double for Ricky Rubio. His 10th assist.
Out to sea.
Ooh, nice pass.
And the two-handed flush from Lesor. France have taken the lead.
My parents gave me away, so I had no purpose in this life. Yeah. When you educate a woman, you educate a nation. It's a quote from Nelson Mandela, by the way.
So the American players taking the floor for warm-ups. Poland as well. 47-30 here at the half. And we'll see if they can continue the hot shooting. Again, if they would have shot like this in other games, you can imagine some different results. But again, credit to France for their great defense. Serbia for bringing the intensity in that classification game. You know, Serbia could have easily gone down without a fight, but that just wasn't going to be the case for Coach Sasha Djordjevic and his players. USA did fight back. As you see Chris Middleton's stats, 11 points, also has 3 rebounds and 3 assists in 13 minutes. Shooting the ball very efficiently. Overall, the USA, who, you know, back in the day, would get so many fast break points, 4 points off turnovers. Actually, Poland has the advantage in that category, 8-5. And also Poland, 22 advantage points in the paint. So it's really been the three-pointer that's been the difference.
And we saw Poland really looked like they had taken some pretty good shots. Just could not get the ball to go down. But they will continue to fight. It's a 40-minute game.
Yeah, if you think about back in the day, USA would get a 10 to 15 point lead in the first quarter. By halftime, it'd be 25, and all of a sudden, the second half, it'd balloon up to 40s and 50s. You know, Poland could have been one of those teams, but instead, the second quarter, they scrapped. Adam Wachinski, despite not knocking down any three-pointers yet, does have 6 points to lead Poland alongside Panitka. But 19 to 16 second quarter, much more even.
Wachinski, the captain. And we'll go down. That's the spider cam coming right at the referees. I wonder if they're aware of that. Okay. So we are comparing Middleton and Wachinski. And you can see their offensive output. $11 points for Middleton, 3 of 4. He's made that only 3. Wachinski can heat up. If he can knock in a few threes, come back not out of the realm of possibility, but obviously Poland has got to play defense and get some rebounds. So what does your gut instinct tell you about
Second half?
As we look at this, this second half, are you thinking USA are going to go ahead and turn this up a notch?
I thought it was interesting that Mike Taylor kind of spread out the minutes in that first half. You know, AJ Slaughter just 11 minutes, Panitka 13, Lachinski 13. Then he gave Kulik 9, Kasharek 7. You know, Lachinski 5, who didn't feature in a few games. So I think he wants to keep his main guys fresh for a second half push. Kind of rely on the fact that there's only 9 players for the USA, and just compete. Like he said, compete, compete, compete. He's not going to stop coaching.
Okay, second half underway. USA with possession in the white. White in the white.
So Middleton starts for Harris in the second half. Harris was 3 fouls.
Mitchell gets it into Turner. And Sell.
Yeah, Sell's been quiet, no points, just 0 of 2 from the field in 10 minutes.
Slaughter comes right out and buries a 3. So that's a good sign for Poland.
Yeah, Slaughter, who's never going to back down from a challenge.
Well, may not get to play against the USA again. Here's Middleton into Turner.
Call that a flush. Decided I don't want to touch the rim, just throw it down.
Yeah.
That's the right idea, just couldn't get it on target. Out of the reach of Wachinski.
Middleton gets it to Turner and lays it up.
Well, some beautiful offense there from the USA. The ball goes side to side, players continuously moving, and then they're able to find Turner on the dive. Another good pass from Middleton, his 5th assist.
Sell turns. White spins, back to Barnes. Panitka, beautiful. New, you had to get it up quickly with Turner there. Lays it up and in.
Panitka's 4 of 5 from the field, so it's been quite efficient. Needs to get more looks.
And Turner misses down low.
Oh, another bad pass from Poland. Panitka looking to throw it off the dribble with the left hand. One of his few mistakes here tonight. 8 points and 6 rebounds for Panitka.
Well, were it not for a couple of errant passes there, Poland might have got a little bit closer here. White. Pass to Turner. Fielded. Now Turner throws it away to Panitka. What will he do here? Oh, he goes up for the dunk.
That's what he's going to do.
You're not stopping this, he says, with Harrison Barnes.
He dared
trailing.
him to jump. Nice deflection from Slaughter. Watch the takeoff. Panitka, eyes on the rim. He's now the first player in double figures for Poland. Another steal. And Popovich visibly getting frustrated on that sideline.
And good hustle there by Hritsaniak to get it back. But Wachinski misses from the 3-point line.
That was a big opportunity there for Poland. Good look for Wachinski.
And Turner turns. Was it into Slaughter?
Yeah, so many different plays on words you can make with those names, but you see there, sets the screen and kind of just uses his arm to push Slaughter away. So he'll come out of the game.
Well, Mike Taylor, you get the feeling that he senses an opportunity here to get this deficit down into the 10, maybe 9-point mark. Once it gets down to single digits, then you really start to believe, don't you?
Definitely, and Slaughter pulls up.
Tough shot, and once again it rims out.
So maybe it wasn't just that side of the floor. Oh, Mitchell. So quick with the dribble.
So call for the foul. There's the super fan,
Jimmy Goldstein, who never really has an expression on his face during games, but just likes to enjoy them.
Very pensive. Harris back in. Got the 3 fouls. Brown. Now Harris from the corner. What a talent.
And he doesn't miss those kind of looks. Wide open.
Kimba,
Second 3.
Kimba liking that.
And Panitka, who just seems to attack every time he touches the ball, goes right at Brown, forced to commit the foul on the baseline.
That was Harris's 3. Panitka wants to make the most of this opportunity. Play against the USA. Little over-the-shoulder pass and good finish by Saniak. Lopez turns on the baseline. His shot rims out. Vachinsky for 3. Count it! You knew it was coming. It's a 12-point game.
A good sight for him. Just 1 of 5 now, but starting to find their groove. Poland 12-7 advantage in this third quarter. We're halfway through. The referee's issuing a warning to the Polish players about touching the ball after it goes through the net. And the USA not out of the woods yet by any means. Still 15 minutes to play here, only up 12.
Lopez stolen by Slaughter.
You have to imagine the fans are also going to start playing a factor.
Slaughter gets it to go, and Popovich calls timeout. He's seen enough. He wants to stop this run cold in his tracks.
Yep, and everyone loves an underdog. So if they climb back into this one, now a 10-point game. So all of a sudden, it's a 14-7 run here for Team Poland. Panitka with 10, Wachinsky with 9, and Slaughter with 9. They're 3 main scorers. Each came into the game right around 13 points a game. Such balanced offense from those 3.
And remember, they have just 9 players, the USA, so, you know, you never know. I mean, maybe depth will become an issue in this game. Harris has the 3 fouls. Jaylen Brown has 2. Miles Turner has 2.
You see there the Panitka high-flying dunk.
He can say, remember that time I played against the USA and I got the steal and went in for the dunk ahead of Harrison Barnes?
It's one of those clips that you'll probably show your kids for a while. It's So Donovan Mitchell comes right back in. Short rest for him. Again, we talked about Poland having the fresh legs here in the second half after the rest that Mike Taylor gave them in the second quarter. They're going to bring out some pressure. 4 players in the backcourt, 2-2-1 press. And then they sag back.
Baczynski knew that pass was coming, couldn't quite get out to contest it. Slaughter goes for the steal again. Now Harris for 3. And Panicka with the rebound.
Chance to get it under 10.
Baczynski open for 3.
We have a basketball game. What was once a 19-point lead has dwindled down to 7.
That's why you can't let them blow the game wide open. You want to give yourselves a chance to win the basketball game. Now Brown, a little bit out of control, falling down, loses it out of bounds. Plumlee checks into the game. Mike Taylor, meanwhile, applauding his players for showing some fight.
Well, once again, you see here the Brown near turnover, but they started 1 of 15 from 3. Since then, 3 of 4 here in the third quarter. Meanwhile, USA cooled off offensively.
Good D by Panicka to deny the inbounds pass.
You can imagine Donovan Mitchell going to start to be a little bit more aggressive. So far, 3 of 4 from the field. Hasn't really looked for a shot much.
Mitchell over to Middleton, and he stops the bleeding a little bit here for the USA. Big shot by Middleton. So the fake, then drives in and almost scores with the left hand. Slaughter held onto the rim so he wouldn't fall. Now Mitchell on the break, the 3, and just like that, a 5-0 run for the USA.
Yeah,
Mike Taylor calls timeout.
Good timeout there. Just, you know, you don't want to exert all your energy just getting it back to under 10 and then letting it slip away. So time to regroup. You know, the USA responded after their timeout. Now it's Poland's turn.
Well, we have the luxury of having the microphone in the Poland huddle, so we'll listen in to Mike Taylor.
Well, you heard the offensive and defensive strategies there for the next few plays. As you take a look at the big shot by Mitchell. And that's the beauty of Alec Balcerowski's game on defense. He can switch onto the perimeter players. So now they're able to switch 1 through 4, as you heard Mike Taylor said. Mitchell now with 11 points.
And again, Balcerowski tries to get it to Slaughter, and it goes out of bounds with a little bit of full court pressure there being employed by the USA.
So the 7-1 Balcerowski, 2 meters 15. And all of a sudden, USA gave it right back.
Tell you, what an opportunity as you look at Popovich for Balcerowski, 18, to be playing against a team of NBA players in that USA side.
Well, he might be playing against them quite often.
See how he develops the next year or two. Here he is, goes behind his back, turns, puts it up, and had the great move, but just didn't finish. Mitchell, oh.
That's not intentional.
Yeah, nutmegged him by accident. Now Panitka drives in and puts it up and misses. Brown. Back outside.
Harris raiding the spot up. Mitchell pulls it back out.
Middleton, short. And Plumlee reaches in to stop the break. Going for the ball.
Now's going to be the key as Panitka goes to the bench and Slaughter goes to the bench. Can Poland maintain this level of play?
And off to Wacinski. Now Kulik, a little bit of a mismatch size-wise on Brown. Piotrowski gets the back. Wacinski goes in and scores. Great play, had the pump fake. Oh, she liked it, didn't she?
No basket.
And no foul before the shot.
Wacinski alongside Panitka and Slaughter really coming out to play here in this third quarter. He now leads all scorers with 14 points thanks to this little runner off the glass. And again, their key guys are shooting well. Wacinski's 5 of 9, Panitka 5 of 7, Slaughter's 4 for 10. But who else can step up and score for Poland will be the key the rest of the way.
Plumlee, and he gets fouled while attacking the basket by Kulik. Good move by Plumlee.
And it's been a tough tournament for Plumlee. These finishes there. Came in only averaging 0.8 points per game and not really giving them the kind of production that they need at that position. 2.5 rebounds as well. So
Plumlee, the only member of the team that won the world title back in 2014 in Spain. Shark to Kulig, absorbs the contact, and now foul Sokolovsky. So
another big rebound there from Plumlee. And one thing about him, he is a good passer. You see he was ready to push the break there. Plumlee plays alongside Nikola Jokic from the Denver Nuggets. So he's a good passer, not the best big man passer on his team. The lob here.
Middleton to Plumlee.
Well, you definitely heard what we said. Or what I said there, starting to pick up his play. 4 quick points for Plumlee.
And now he comes up for the steal, but couldn't control it. Wacinski decides to launch it, and he does. He makes it.
Oh, you see that first 3 go down. Not afraid to put up another one.
Yeah, his confidence is up now. White to Plumlee. White pulls up, and Piotrowski with the rebound.
And every time USA kind of sees out of control in offense, it leads to a missed shot.
Hey, go out.
Shark over to Kulik. Open. Count it. Another 3.
Back down to 8. And they will not go away. So the bench has stepped up here. Poland +9 in the third quarter.
Middleton. And good comeback by Poland here. They outscore the USA in the third quarter 25-16. And they trail with 10 minutes remaining now 63-55. Great game here in the battle for 7th place at the FIBA Basketball World Cup.
Well, they weren't going to stay cold forever, knocking down 5 of their 6 threes in that third quarter. The USA still over 50% from both the field and three-point line, but it's the defense that let them down in that third quarter, allowing 25 U.S. points.
Polish points, yep.
Yeah, Polish points, sorry. As you can see those American fans slightly nervous in the crowd.
And you wonder about Manu Ginobili as well watching. I'm guessing he's pulling for the USA since his former coach, Popovich, is coaching the USA, unless he'd like to rib him about it.
That's a good point. I mean, you know, the rest of the fans, you see a lot of excitement around Poland's run. You know, people love cheering for an underdog.
Well, you remember Poland were 3-4 in the European qualifiers, and then they won the rest of their qualifiers to clinch a spot in the FIBA Basketball World Cup. And then they got what I think was generally accepted a favorable draw when they landed here in Beijing against China, Venezuela, and won all those games. You know, the Venezuela game was a test. China was a test. Even Cote d'Ivoire was a test. But the real test came when they played Russia. And when they beat Russia, they pretty much knew they were headed to the quarterfinals. Right. And that is an amazing achievement for this Poland national team. And they would like nothing more than to cap it off with a great performance here, win or lose against the USA.
Yeah, obviously Czech Republic, their first World Cup. You know, what a proud moment for that country to get as far as they did. But, you know, it's been 52 years there's Ginobili in the stands. But, yeah, not since 1957.
For Poland, yeah.
Yeah, for Poland. So
Czech Republic also in this. They had played as Czechoslovakia before the breakup of that country in the World Cup. And they've had a great run as well. They will play in the next game against Serbia.
Yeah, a chance for a top 5 finish.
Ponitka, and had a good open look, so he took it. Now a little bit more fire, a little bit more bounce in the step of the USA coming out for this final quarter of basketball in their World Cup. Barnes goes up and scores against Cooley.
Yeah, great patience. Harrison Barnes, who just has phenomenal, you know, ball skills and footwork. Took his time, drew a little bit of contact, and elevated.
Balcerowski fouled by Mitchell.
Mitchell with the reach around. I wonder how long Taylor goes without Slaughter. Probably the 7.5 minute mark or so.
Probably get him in ASAP. Ponitka goes baseline, and he's fouled. Hello.
Hey.
Are you watching NBA?
Hey. Ponitka, again, he's been doing it all World Cup long, attacking the basket. Great pump fake, 1-2 step, flush it on your head. Well, not really, Donovan. Try to get out of the way. But right there, you see the contact. And that is some serious high flying.
He's got the right mindset, doesn't he? He plays against anybody.
Almost want him to take more shots. That's his first free throw of the night, surprisingly. He's drawn 4 fouls, but first time in a shooting attempt.
Harris right on line, but long. And the long rebound chased down by Middleton. Those are the types of rebounds for Poland they can't let get away. Mitchell. Entry pass to Barnes. Oh, good defense.
Chance to get it to 5 or 4 even.
Kosciadek for 3.
That would have brought the house down. So USA in another nail biter, it seems.
Middleton. Certainly another test for them. White. And they're going to count it.
Tough break there for Poland. They didn't get that call in the first half. And there you see the foul committed. And then long strides from White to get to the cup. Persania probably could have contested.
Look at that.
That's
Poetry
a great,
in motion.
yeah, great camera work from our crew.
The high flyer.
So here's Slaughter, the 8-minute mark. And sooner than I anticipated.
I think Balczarowski's done well today. So White converts the three-point play and takes the lead back up to 10 points. Slaughter, you were asking when's he going to come in, and he is in. Good job by Kulik to knock it back out. Baczynski open. And the follow by Panitka. Now Barnes.
Derek White having another good game, 10 points. To go with 6 assists, almost 7 as Barnes called for the loose ball foul.
Just a little bit of a push there by Barnes.
His first.
Just a little push.
Well, USA going back to that small ball lineup. 5 perimeter players, Middleton and Barnes, 6'8", the biggest guys on the floor.
Baczynski hangs in the air himself, puts it back up, keeping it alive. Good hustle. Sokolowski goes up and he draws the foul. A great effort by Poland.
Well, again, with the lack of size out there on the floors, Harris picks up his 4th.
Well, I think Popovich now says, let's get more of a big in. So he's going to bring in Turner.
You see there, Harris trying to contest Sokolowski. And the shooter from Chelan, Washington, NBA three-point shootout champ, has to take a seat.
You know it all, man. You know it all.
Yeah, for a guy like him, though, from a small town, I think, what, 4,000 people to represent his country?
Pretty amazing. Representing his town as well. Good job by Sokolowski to get that first one to go. And the second. And back to an 8-point game. So you go back to that timeout when it looked like things were starting to get ugly for Poland, and Taylor really dropped the hammer on his team, said he wanted to see more execution, more effort, and it's been a different game ever since. Ball goes out of bounds. Great defense by Poland.
Well, they're making plays. Also, USA with 4 team fouls in the first 3 minutes here. So Poland will be in the bonus the rest of the way. They've only committed 1 foul on their end. They can be aggressive defensively just like that. You see multiple guys contesting. Middleton.
Baczynski hands it off to Panitka. Instead of going around, he goes in. Then he tries to make the pass. Great defense, though, USA and Miles Turner.
So Jaylen Brown, who's been very quiet by his standards. 3 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. And Panitka left his feet. Great challenge by Turner. Hard fall as well.
He's tired at the end of his games.
They leave it all out on the floor. That's what he does.
Mitchell. And great effort, both teams. Turner couldn't get the tips. A good D by Poland.
Just a 4th offensive rebound for USA.
Oh, nice patience by White. Timeout, Mike Taylor. 6:15 remaining, and USA on top, 70-60.
Poland getting opportunities. The door just stays cracked a little bit open. And you got to respect how they've come out here tonight. So Mike Taylor going to the drawing board. Let's see what he comes up with.
Mike Taylor, Pennsylvania native. Wife comes from the Czech Republic, and she made her home in Germany, and that's where they live. And this is some of that great defense by Poland, and the great defense by Turner. And the great defense by Kulik. So we've had our share of big-time defensive plays for both teams. And another look at that block from Kulik. So back to live action.
Oh, nice move.
Well, Turner just said, you know what, I'm big, I'm going to wait this out. And now Mitchell quickly down the floor. Barnes. Mitchell follows it. White for three. And Slaughter chases down the rebound.
How high did Mitchell get up for that rebound, though?
Turner certainly taking care of some of those Polish drivers now. And Kulik hung in the air and gets a chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, Kulik has that sneaky athleticism. Strong dribble, absorbs the contact, and finishes. Derek White catches him right on that right elbow. So Harris replaces. As you see, another great block by Turner. That's 3 on the night for him now. Does the Bill Russell thing of keeping it in bounds so you can get possession.
Yeah, that's when the block is at its best. It's down to 7 points. Poland refusing to go away.
Just a couple of stops from, really being into this one.
Good D by Slaughter. And ball remains at this end of the floor. Kulik out. Pritsaniak comes back in. Harris obviously wanted to finish this World Cup strong. Harris has 8 points.
Oh, Mitchell throwing it off the back of Slaughter.
Brown for 3. Good.
Big shot there for Jaylen Brown. Second three-pointer of the night.
Downtown Jaylen Brown.
Once again.
Slaughter. Mitchell goes down. Now he gets up.
Well, under 5 minutes to go.
Harris, baseline, tough move.
Again, that balance scoring from USA. Another player in double figures. That's the 4th.
Steve Kerr, dry smile. Panitka bounce pass, just a little bit to the left of Pritsaniak. Now Barnes.
Transition. Pritsaniak couldn't get out of the way. Of course, Steve Kerr, a little international feel to him as well. Spent some time in Beirut as a child.
Yes, he did. And he's coached his share of international players, including some that have played here. There's Stephen Marbury.
Fan favorite.
Kind of revived his career in China after he left the NBA. Spends a lot of time here now.
Coaches in Beijing as well. Good trap here for Poland.
Look at Sokolowski get on the ground and takes it away from Mitchell. Panitka open for 3. It's good. Well, if anything, you got to love the effort of Poland. They have really fought today.
4 minutes to go, just a 9-point game. And Mitchell turning on the attack mode. Again, he's only taken 5 field goal attempts. As you see him get into the lane, slap there by Panitka almost finishes through the contact.
Great crowd for this classification game today. Really good crowd. And basket is good. Of course, fans will be seeing a really good next game between the Czechs and Serbia. Big time players in that game as well. The battle for 5th place. Here's Mitchell and the USA trying to finish off this Polish team that has just been fantastic here in the second half.
We've been told it's been the biggest event China's ever hosted in terms of having obviously 8 different cities. I think over 2 billion viewers throughout the tournament. It's been a pleasure to be here. Slaughter
hands it off to Sandiak, but didn't have success there against Turner. Barnes fouled by Sandiak.
Turner not appreciating it. You know,
nothing wrong with that foul.
Yeah, not going to let anything come easy. Turner takes the defense of his teammate, understandably so. Nice move there by Barnes, and yeah, hard hack.
Yeah, probably.
There's a little barking for Sandiak. Turner must not know he's known as the Beast, but he did have a chance here to, again, blocks the shot and gets the possession.
Well, Barnes has certainly been the recipient of some hard fouls in this tournament, don't you think?
Yeah, got that hit to the head from Thanasis Antetokounmpo. Missing the first free throw. Barnes with a chance to become the 5th American player double-digit scoring. Does just that. So it's back to an 11-point lead. 3.5 to go. Poland needs some stops.
Yep, it's now or never time for Poland. Harris explodes and gets the contact and the foul, so he goes to the line. Adam Silver on the right and Andreas Zaklis on the left. Zaklis, the FIBA Secretary General, and Silver, of course, the NBA Commissioner.
That is the power of the basketball world sitting there.
Yep.
And Adam Silver's really, well, alongside obviously David Stern in his tenure, just, you know, assimilated the international basketball, really pushed for it to grow, not just the NBA, but all basketball.
Yeah. Two guys that do a lot of good for basketball. Of course, FIBA lost former FIBA Secretary General Patrick Baumann tragically last year. And he did so much in the build-up to this World Cup, helping it come here to China. Nice shot from Slaughter. I think he would have been proud watching how this thing has unfolded. Harris, strong move. Taking the contact and scoring.
Harris, obviously the former Virginia Cavaliers team, winning the national championship this year. He was part of that first wave of guys who,
under Tony Bennett,
kind of got the attention back to Virginia basketball. Slaughter starting to heat up.
That was a long two. Yeah, Kirk Penny, the New Zealand Tall Black great, has decided to become, or has accepted a chance to be an assistant coach there at Virginia. And great play there by Slaughter now. Goes behind his back. Clock starting to become the enemy for Poland, so Slaughter launches it, and Barnes rebounds it.
Under 2 minutes, so the USA will just use some clock. Expect Mitchell to have the ball in his hands quite a lot these next 2 minutes.
And Jaylen Brown scores down under the basket that time.
That doesn't rhyme.
Well, kind of
almost.
I did want to say downtown Jaylen Brown, but he was Is he uptown there? Here we go, the drive, and good finish by Panitka.
Hey, he's had himself an absolute ball game. Very efficient 8 for 11 shooting, 18 points for Panitka.
Look at this.
He saw how many times Turner's blocked shots, goes to the other side of the rim. Turner still almost got there. Really is a great shot blocker, but Panitka so smart around the basket. Look at that. Inches away.
Yeah, you know what? Panitka's career just keeps trending up, doesn't it?
He had a great qualifier run. Led this team in scoring.
He played very well the first 2 seasons of the Basketball Champions League. Here's Mitchell. Nice stroke from Donovan Mitchell.
And that might just be the dagger. Give the USA a 14-point advantage. Poland needs to attack quickly.
Well, both these teams have done very well today in this classification round game. Lots of people in the house, and they have put on a show, especially that man, Panitka.
We see trying to feed it into Turner, who gets called for. Well, actually, it wasn't really a kick. They did reset the shot clock to 14.
He's got a game-high 18 points. Did you say that? And Adam Vaczynski has 17. So those 2 veterans. And Vaczynski keeps it alive. The captain takes it back out.
Slaughter one-on-one on Miles.
Wow. And he draws the foul. You know what I thought was really interesting in the Kobe Bryant press conference? Well, one of the many things that was interesting. I mean, he is wonderful, speaking Italian, everything else. Somebody asked
Spanish, yeah.
Somebody asked him, who do you think is the MVP of this tournament? And he said, I don't care.
Yeah, not in a mean-spirited way. Just it's not about the individual accolades. You know,
it's
who's going to win the gold, which no one asked him actually. Who was going to win? All those questions. He did a great job hosting that press conference as usual. Kobe, the basketball philosopher.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's always soothing to see your presence out there. Look at that, 15 and 10 for Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, the USA does have 29 assists on the night, just 14 turnovers, so they've done a great job kind of controlling the tempo.
I'm expecting Mitchell to have a huge year and to come to the Olympics next year as a key player for the USA.
You know, not that the All-Star game is the barometer of exceptional talent all the time, but consider the fact Donovan Mitchell is yet to be an All-Star. Obviously, Kemba Walker and Chris Middleton, the 2 guys on this USA roster who have made an All-Star team. Brook Lopez as well in the past. I'm sure those will come.
Yeah, honestly, you would think any club would like to have any of these players. They could contribute. Smart,
the first.
Smart not playing today. You see, watching on the sidelines. I mean, he was so good the other night. Smart.
So Mitchell, the first player to knock down 4 threes for the USA in this World Cup, and that's what they've been lacking. It's kind of that outside shooting. He's 4 of 4 tonight. Now it's 16 points to lead the USA. Of course, those 10 assists as well. So filling in for Kemba Walker on that front.
Crisp pass. Vaczynski holds his feet. And Turner rebounds it. And final 20 seconds or so, and Mitchell's going to hold it up. So the crowd applauds. A great effort from both teams. A very entertaining contest. And the last contest for these 2 teams at this FIBA Basketball World Cup. So it's been really exciting having them both. And
well, the USA go out with the victory. You see there Coach Taylor and Popovich discussing at half court. Somewhat bittersweet for Taylor.
Well, I think he'll be happy with the effort. USA, they'll win it 87-74. They finished 7th, and Poland finished 8th. Well, Miles Turner, boy, he really brought the effort today. I mean, you got to really applaud him.
Yep, 7 points, but did have 8 big rebounds and 4 blocks, especially in key moments, and the kind of blocks that gave the USA extra possessions. USA shot the ball much better than they have in previous games. 51% shooting, 48% from three. It's their best three-point shooting performance of the World Cup, 12 of 25. And again, you got to admire this Polish team. They still some smiles on their faces. Again, they finished top 8, so the top 25th percentile of the World Cup. For you math wizards out there.
You're always showing off the Ivy League education. I like that. I forgot what all that stuff meant.
But even look at it, they applaud their fans, and not just their fans, all the fans. Even the fact that they, you know, held their own rebounding wise with Poland, 37 rebounds. USA getting 39. Only had 10 turnovers, so didn't let the USA get into an up and down, fast break type of game. And there, Mike Taylor and Wachinski at half court embracing. As you see the stats for today's game, USA, the three-pointer really did the difference. Poland knocking down 6 in the second half wasn't quite enough. Again, the assist numbers heavily in favor for the Americans. Poland did consistently attack the paint. 40 points in the paint for them.
Let's see this USA band out on the court. Top scorers again. Panitka with 18, Wachinski 17, Slaughter with 15. Mitchell had the 16, Harris the 14, and Middleton the 13. And again, Jason Tate. It was just one of those summers for USA basketball where things didn't really click in terms of results. And obviously, we all know about some of the withdrawals, but these guys came over and really fought hard for their country and did themselves proud. You know, and it has to be said, I mean, they represented the country well.
Yeah, without question. I mean, again, it's every game of basketball, every individual game of basketball is going to be different. And, you know, different teams have guys who can make plays. I mean, just look at Panitka's efforts here tonight. Had a couple of, you know, top plays that I'm sure we'll see on a few countdowns on the FIBA World Cup app and social media pages.
Yeah, go to FIBA.basketball and then click on World Cup and you will get all the news and information. So we'll definitely see the USA next year at the Olympics, and we'll see Poland at one of the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournaments. And, you know, I think the USA will probably take up their customary role as favorites in that tournament.
Well,
but a lot of news and information, developments to come with who's going to be there, who's not going to be there. I mean, they've got a lot of interesting times ahead, I think, USA basketball. But full marks go to Jerry Colangelo, Greg Popovich. Again, it's, you know, they've put a good product on the floor. And, you know, see, look at guys like Harris, for example. You know, I feel like he's really taking advantage of his chances. Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I mean, they got today was kind of the type of game you expected from this team. Different guys stepping up. Mitchell leading scorer. Joe Harris 14. Middleton 13. Derek White 12. Harrison Barnes with 10. Jaylen Brown with 8. So all the guys who played contributed in some fashion.
Here's Popovich. He's seen it all, hasn't he? I mean, and he's just such a class act. They suffered that loss to France the other day, and I can't remember his words, but he's, you know, he's like, you know, you have a winner and you have a loser. It's not the end of the world.
Life goes on.
Life does go on indeed. And Mike Taylor again bringing Poland back to their first FIBA Basketball World Cup in 52 years. So if you look at the teams qualified for the Olympic Games, the road to Tokyo, USA among them, Argentina also, who will play in the final. Nigeria representing Africa. Iran will be there for Asia. We're talking about the direct tickets. Spain and France for Europe, Australia, Oceania, and host Japan, obviously. And these will be the teams going to the Olympic qualifying tournament. Poland among them, along with Brazil, Canada, Czech Republic, Dominican Republic, Germany, Greece, Italy, Lithuania, Venezuela, Turkey, Tunisia, Serbia, Russia, Puerto Rico, and New Zealand. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Ladies and